In this month of wellness for the skin, let's talk about essential oils topically. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. And we've been doing the wellness for the skin from the inside and the out. So we need to look at essential oils as part of the topical support or fortification for the skin. We're using right now the frankincense and lavender vitality oils internally as part of our internal support, but what do the essential oils do on the outside? Now, in order to understand some of, all the, not all the science, but in order to get a good handle on some of these things, we do have to understand and admit some safety issues. And so it's important to talk about safety and how to use these, how to use essential oils for the skin so that we don't end up with problems. So let's talk about a few of those as well. Now, what I'm talking about are, for what we're doing this month, our frankincense and our lavender. Okay, these are our topical oils, and we've been, like I said, we've been taking the vitality versions of these internally. I want to remind you that the difference of the essential oil in these two bottles, there's no difference. They're exactly the same oil. The only difference, there's the same quality, the same, just because this is labeled a cosmetic does not mean it's lower quality, and it shouldn't be. Hear me on this one. The cosmetic version should not be any different quality than the one that you eat. The reason is we have absorption through the skin. We know that. We are using hormone patches, right? Doctors are using hormone patches to deliver hormones through the skin. Well, hormones are a lot larger than the molecules of essential oils. There's a lot of research that documents that essential oils will get through the skin. There's transdermal absorption for all kinds of chemicals and compounds. We've already been talking about that, how the skin is open to the air and absorbs fat-soluble toxins. So we need to be aware of this and be very careful what we put on our skin. This is another, again, another reminder of why we need natural body care, skin care products, okay? We can't be putting nasty shampoo and lotion on our skin and then expect things to be healthy. If that stuff is getting through the skin into our lymphatic system and our liver has to process it, it's essentially the same as eating it, right? It's, not all the things that you put on the skin make it through, because some of the waxes and things like that are too big to make it through into the bloodstream and into the lymph. But a lot of those compounds, anything that's reasonably small, will make it all the way through. Look at, when we use transdermal absorption for, tobacco to absorb the nicotine. So what I'm saying is this is a reality. Okay, so from that perspective, we need to be safe as well. And so if you're pregnant, for example, and you're dumping on a whole bunch of essential oils onto the skin, you got to understand that those essential oils make it into the bloodstream, and so you want to keep that in mind from a standpoint of being pregnant. You would want to be careful how many oils you use and use your own internal awareness. So if you put on, now some oils, essential oils, are considered quite totally safe for pregnancy. Lavender and frankincense are both some of those. And when I mean safe for pregnancy, you can pretty much slather it on, and you're not going to have any concerns for reproductive toxicity, or there's no evidence in the research that there would be any compromise. That there are some obviously areas of the body where if you're putting it on topically, it's going to be really uncomfortable. And so safety issues, and one of the things we need to talk about is, we've been talking about using the skin essential oils on the face and products on the face. Well, you could get it in your eye. And essential oils are fat soluble, they're not water soluble. So don't flush the eye with water. If you've got an essential oil in your eye and it's starting to burn, you flush with olive oil or vegetable oil or some kind of, because it's fat soluble. So you want to get that fat, 100% fat in your eye, so that the essential oil molecule will come out of your eye and into that fat layer. And then you can wipe that off and then wash afterward. It's a weird feeling to have olive oil in your eye, but if your eye is hurting from an essential oil that got in there, or you rubbed your eye because you still had peppermint on your finger, then you don't care about the weird feeling. You just want the burning to stop. And then, we've got 5 kids. We've raised kids with essential oils. It's, of course, the kids, The only difference between a child and an adult is the dosage, right? I mean, their bodies can handle it's the same body, same chemistry, same kind of thing going on. There's some falsehoods out there about essential oils and safety issues. One of them is that lavender and tea tree was also mentioned can hurt little boys. The male development can be hampered. That was proven to be false, and very likely the compounds that were responsible that were added to these fragrance. The fragrance in the shampoos, these were done with shampoos. It wasn't a complete study, it was a single case study. One doctor presented it, and I find it amazing that one doctor presents one case study, and all of a sudden we are teaching this in medical conferences that we should be careful with tea tree and children and little boys. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. We're not even going to talk about birth control in the water supply, birth control pills in the water supply. We're not going to talk about estrogens in milk, dairy estrogens in milk. We'll be worried about soy, but we won't worry about dairy from a standpoint of the estrogens. And we're worried about, and we're going to go blitzing this whole thing about essential oils bad for you. It's just weird. The reality of that whole study was debunked. A whole bunch of people wrote in and said this was a horrible study. This wasn't even done properly. And like I said, it was very likely the phthalates. Phthalates are known hormone disruptors. They're commonly added to fragrance. To fragrances, poor quality fragrances, and it's very likely that both the tea tree and the lavender that were used in these shampoos were tainted with phthalates, and that's probably what caused the issues. Okay, I've got 4 boys. None of them have been growing any breasts. We've been using lavender since they were born. So in the diffuser, topically, we've been using lavender. Okay, so some of those is safety, just regular, sensible use safety issues, just worth mentioning. But let's talk about what happens at the essential oils on the skin. Like I said, essential oils are fat soluble. They're small molecules. They're fat soluble, and so we have a layer of fat on the surface of our skin, which kind of blocks out most stuff, many compounds don't get in. But the unique property of essential oils is that they're very small molecules and fat soluble, so they actually go absorb right into that fat layer right on the surface, and that provides them, and it basically traps them onto the skin to do their work, right? So what is the work that they do? And of course, we do get transdermal absorption, so some of those essential oil molecules are getting all the way through and down into the bloodstream, and then end up circulating. But the skin benefits directly with the essential oil by providing that antioxidant support, right? By helping the membranes be maintained better. If you have oxidized membranes, the antioxidant properties of essential oils will help the membranes of the cells flow better. So if you go zoom down at a little bitty cell, you've got the outside of the cell, and then you've got all these membrane systems, and then the inside of the nucleus. All of that system is wrapped in fat. Every one of those membranes is a fat-based system. And so those essential oil molecules work their way in. They can get all the way down to the DNA. They can help with the machinery. They can keep the membranes healthy by providing that antioxidant. So that's one of the huge things that essential oils do at the cellular level. And we get that benefit at the skin. So, what is aging? We've talked about this from a standpoint of the skin. What is aging? Aging is a slow breakdown of the skin proteins and the elastin, and this is the collagen and the proteins that are in the connective tissue. It's a breakdown of the skin in terms of the mechanisms that the skin produces protein to keratinize and give that protective layer. All those things start to break down because the cells age, and they don't. Where does aging come from? Aging comes from that slow damage accumulation, usually in the area of oxidation, right? Oxidative stress, so that skin gets damaged. All we're doing is keeping things young by maintaining that antioxidant levels in the skin. And so what a better way to do that than with essential oils? And like I said, so we're highlighting lavender and frankincense today. How would I use essential oils for the skin? Topically would be, just basically rub it on, right? I mean, here's my frankincense, a couple drops of frankincense. I might go ahead and mix it with my couple drops of lavender. 1, 2, so here's my lavender and frankincense mixed together, and I'll just do a gentle spread, and then I could put that on my skin. Now, you know our face massage, right? So I could do our little face massage with this. Now my skin's going to get red from the face massage. It might have a very quick red reaction. Now I'm using this right near my eye, you notice, and so some of the fumes can get on the eye, and like be a little fumey, but it doesn't hurt anything. That very gentle massage. I don't want to drag too much of the skin, just showing you that again. And so how quick you can do it in less than a minute, you can work some of the drainage. So not only did I get a little 1-minute massage for my face, but I got the essential oil, a few drops of essential oil spread around onto my face, onto my skin, and I get the aromatic benefit. Fabulous, right? Because we know lavender is very calming and soothing. So if I need a fortification for my skin and a reset in my day and look better, because it's probably during one of those times if I'm falling apart emotionally and stressed, my face is probably all crinkled up. How about a 1-minute pause? Take my lavender frankincense. Frankincense is that get me connected to God, right? Very spiritual, very used traditionally for eons for spiritual connection. So help me get connected to God. Breathe in God's love, right? With the help of the frankincense. Lavender, calm down, breathe in that love and peace, leaving the peace of Jesus, the peace of Jesus. Okay, and and then the hope of the Holy Spirit. And move on in life. Okay, so, but I can use my breathing, I can use my imagery, and I've got my oils all there to fortify. And, but I'm talking about the skin, but you see what an amazing thing essential oils are, because they can bring a multi-component to my day that, I'm thinking I'm helping my skin, and I am helping my skin, but I'm getting all those side benefits as well. And so in 1 minute, instead of just rubbing oil on, I could literally just take a pause, get my face reset, right? Relax my face, breathe my lavender, breathe my frankincense, and I'm still getting that benefit on the face. Okay, so just a little discussion about topical use of oils. You notice I did not dilute them. You don't need to dilute them unless you do. If your skin is sensitive and you're having reactions, or you're just afraid of them, then don't dilute them. But I would challenge you to go ahead and try essential oils. Let me qualify this. If they're bad quality essential oils, yes, they can burn you. Yes, they can hurt you. So you don't want to dilute them. You don't want to use them at all. If they're tainted with phthalates, they're going to mess you up with your hormones. You don't want that, okay? So we got to get good quality essential oils, which is why I only recommend Young Living essential oils, because I've never seen any other company that does the kind of quality assurance and understands essential oils and it has the gas chromatography skills to evaluate the quality of oils. There's a lot of people out there that will throw a gas chromatogram and say, oh, look, we've got pure oils, but that stuff can be manipulated, okay, and has been. And so it's just, you need to look into, if you don't understand the fullness of essential oil quality, you need to look into that. Maybe I'll do some more videos with that. But basically, we got to be careful what we put on our skin. That's going to be across the board. As we mentioned, we need these natural care products. We've got the Young Living body butter that we're using in our program. We've got some kind of lotion that we're using in our program, the natural versions of those. The Young Livings are all natural. There's a difference between being good, being well, and looking good, right? We could probably use, did you know, just real quick, did you know that the tearless, baby tearless shampoo is just an anesthetic, a mild anesthetic, and a de-reddener? So they're actually still damaging your baby's eyes, but you don't know it because they're not red and it doesn't hurt. But it's only because they've covered that up. So this is the kind of thing that we're dealing with in the cosmetic industry, in the skin industry, that's been allowed by the FDA to come in because it's quote unquote topical. And so we're going to talk more about transdermal absorption, but we need to switch to natural. We don't want to continue toxifying our skin. Okay, so a little bit of dialogue there, a little bit of discussion here. Let me know, give me some feedback if you have some questions here on either on the Minke Wellness or Facebook page or on the Minke Wellness YouTube channel. Happy wellness. We'll see you tomorrow.